Here's what nobody will tell you when they're showing off Shopify screenshots while standing next to a rented Lamborghini on a beach in Miami. The reason most people fail with dropshipping has nothing to do with how smart they are, how hard they work, or even how much money they started with. It has everything to do with the model that they choose. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly why 9 out of 10 people who try dropshipping quit, and more importantly, what the 10% who actually make it consistently do different. And I promise you, it is not what the gurus on Instagram want you to think. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Anton Kraly. I've been doing this since 2007. I built multiple 7- and 8-figure stores, some of them that are around to this day from 18 years ago when I first got started. And I've helped thousands of students from literally all around the world generate real, consistent income. And yes, I still do this stuff day in and day out. So let's get into it. Let's start with the honest truth about dropshipping. Like I said before, the failure rate is high. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Most people who want to start a dropshipping business, they do not make it. But here's what's interesting about this. When I talk to people who have failed, and I've talked to a lot of them, their story almost always sounds the same. They found a YouTube video or a course or had AI guide them through how to build a business. They picked a niche based on what is currently trending, maybe using a spy tool. They set up a simple Shopify store, started importing cheap products, usually through AliExpress or a similar Shopify app. They ran some Facebook ads and they got nowhere. Long shipping times, customer complaints, refund requests, razor-thin margins, products that got delivered to customers that looked completely different than what was shown on the website, and a business model that was competing against tens of thousands of other people trying to run what is essentially the same exact store. Does any of that sound familiar? If it does, leave a comment below, because trust me, you are not alone. The thing is, that is not a you problem. That is a model problem. And that's what we're going to unpack right now. Reason number 1 for why people fail is because they are playing the wrong game entirely. The version of dropshipping that most people learn about, the one that's all over social media, is built on sourcing cheap products from suppliers in China, usually through AliExpress or similar platforms, and then marking them up and selling them online. And on paper, that sounds fine. I don't have anything morally against that. It has low upfront costs, it has lots of product options, and you don't hold inventory. Great. The problem is you are now in a race to the bottom against thousands of other stores selling the same exact products. Your supplier is also selling direct to consumer. Shipping takes 3 to 6 weeks, returns are quite literally a nightmare, and your profit margin on a $30 sale might be $5, and that's if you're lucky. That model is designed to generate short-term income for the people teaching it. It is not designed to build a long-term sustainable business for you. Reason number 2 is they're selling at the wrong price points. And in my opinion, this one doesn't get talked about enough. When you're selling low ticket products, I'm talking $20, $30, $50, your margins per sale are tiny. That means every single thing that goes wrong costs you significant amounts of money. If you get one dispute, there goes your profit for that sale and the next 5. If you get a return, you might lose money on that order. A bad Facebook ad week, you burned through your budget chasing orders that barely broke even anyway. Now let's flip the model. Imagine your average order value was $1,000. Your profit per sale was around $300. You don't need hundreds of orders a month. You need a handful of good ones, and that completely changes how the business feels to run and how realistic it is to actually make it work for you. The third main reason people fail is they have no real relationship with their suppliers. And here's a question for those that are already dropshipping. Do you know who your supplier actually is? Have you spoken to a real person there? Do you know their name? Most people running what I'm going to refer to as AliExpress type stores have never spoken to a supplier. They simply click a button that says import to store, set a markup, and hope for the best. That is not a business relationship. That is a transaction, and transactions are fragile. The model that actually works long-term is built on real partnerships with real brands, American brands, companies that make quality products, that care about their retail partners, and who actively support the stores who sell for them. When you have that kind of relationship, you get preferred pricing, you get marketing material for your website, you get product support, and sometimes you even get leads sent to you from these suppliers. That is a totally different situation than being one of 1,000 anonymous Shopify stores selling their overseas knockoffs. The fourth reason so many people fail is they choose niches with no staying power. How many people do you remember who built their dropshipping businesses around fidget spinners, around sleep masks that are supposed to help you lucid dream, around slime, or around any random TikTok product that went viral for 3 weeks? Trend chasing is exhausting, and it almost always ends the same way. You spend money building a store, running ads for a product, you catch the tail end of that trend, and then it is gone. You're literally starting over. The 10% who build real businesses choose niches that are always in demand. And I'm talking about things like outdoor furniture, home gym equipment, lighting like it's in front of me right now, even the flooring beneath me. These are products that people need, whether the economy is up or down, whether it's a trending moment or not. When someone's renovating their house, they need flooring. They're not going to wait for it to trend on Instagram. That is the kind of stable, evergreen demand that makes dropshipping actually sustainable. The fifth reason people fail is they had unrealistic expectations from day one. I want to be really honest with you here because I think this one hurts people more than anything else that I'm going to say here. The dropshipping marketing that most people encounter, I'm sure you have if you're watching this video, it is built on fantasy. Guys showing you their best month ever, screenshots of Shopify dashboards with literally no context, fancy cars, vacations, lifestyle images that I'm telling you are almost entirely staged. And people see that and think, I'll just follow this exactly and I'll be there in 60 days. And then when they're not, when 3 months go by and they're still figuring things out, they think the entire thing is a scam. So here's what realistic actually looks like with the model that I do and that I teach. You build a store. You get approved to sell for real brands. You start getting traffic. And eventually, maybe around the 3rd to 6th month mark, as long as you stay consistent, you start getting 1 to 2 sales a day. And if you have an average order value of around $1,000 and you're making $300 in profit per sale, that's potentially $9,000 to $18,000 a month in net profit from one store, while working reasonable hours. Now, is that going to get you a Lamborghini? No. Is it absolutely life-changing? For most people, 100% yes. Okay, so I've told you why most people fail. Now let's talk about what the people who succeed are doing differently. And I'll tell you, it is not some secret hack that's going to change your life. It's simply a better model that is executed consistently. First, we focus on products with an average order value of typically between $500 and $2,000 or more. Why? Because the margin per sale is significant money. The competition is lower than the cheap product space, and our customers are typically more decisive and easier to work with. When someone's spending $1,500 on a quality product, they've already done their research and they're not impulsive. They are buyers. The second thing we do differently is form US-based brand partnerships. Every single product we sell comes from a real American brand, not a dropshipping app. We apply directly to become authorized retailers for these brands, just like a brick and mortar store would do. They then approve us, authorize us to sell their products, and we list their products. Then when a customer orders, we purchase the product from that brand ships it directly to the customer. The third thing we do differently is pick niches with consistent year-round demand. Things that people always need. Again, no trends, no viral moments, products tied to homes, hobbies, pets, recreation, things that people bought and actively searched for, regardless of what is happening on their social feeds. My fourth thing to share here comes back to expectations. My students are not trying to make $1 million their first month. They're building towards that with the 1 or 2 orders a day benchmark. Now, some of them get there in 90 days. Some might take 6 months or even longer. But when they get there, the income is real. And most importantly, it is repeatable. And the business actually has a value should they ever want to sell it. And that's the model. It's high ticket products, real brand relationships, evergreen niches, realistic goals. It sounds simple. That's because it is. The execution is actually what takes the work. And that's exactly what we teach. Now, look, I know what you might be thinking. That sounds good, Anton, but does it actually work for regular people? And I get that. I'm a skeptic too. So let me quickly share a few examples from people in our community, because honestly, their stories are more powerful than anything I could ever say.
Anton, I got to tell you too, when I first signed up with you and there was an an interview process that you were putting candidates through at the time. I forget who I spoke with, but I had a goal of maybe making $2,000 or $3,000 a month to help supplement my pension. And I was thinking, if this is real, if I can turn it into that, then that'll supplement my other income and I'll be okay. I can live on that and I can have my time. And I got to tell you, it's exceeded all expectations of what I've been able to accomplish just by following, sticking with your program and staying in touch with you and your team.
Before Dropship Lifestyle, basically the idea of having my own business, whatever that looks like. And I assure you, I had a million ideas, like probably a lot of people who have come to the course have had. It didn't look like much of anything. I knew that I wanted my own business. I knew that I wanted to do something online, but it took literally years for me to identify what that was. So once I finally came to Dropship Lifestyle, probably like a lot of people, I spent, I don't even remember, maybe months, like just listening to the podcast, watching YouTube videos, reading about the course. It's an investment. So you want to know that you're getting into the right thing. So ultimately, of course, I decided to go ahead with it. And, the course is great. I mean, really, I don't think I know I couldn't have possibly started my store without it. So I have nothing but great things to say about the course. I'd say anyone who's considering getting into it, the content's fantastic. It's really step-by-step, takes you from nothing at all to having a store that's live and making sales. So I'd say my journey has been, it's been interesting. It's been very up and down, but without having the sort of the background of the course that's helped me get to where I am now, I really don't know what I would have done. Like, you got to have some sort of structure to be able to get one of these things off the ground. Nowadays, my store's doing really well. I'm making a lot of sales. I'm pretty happy with the success I've had. And, Anton, I just want to thank you for creating the course and the opportunity for everybody to get together.
And these aren't outliers. These are people who followed the model, they did the work, and they got results. They are regular people. Teachers, parents, people who have never run a business before, who now have a real income stream from their business. So if this video resonated with you, if you've tried dropshipping before and it didn't work, or you're just starting to research this and you want to make sure that you're doing it right from day one, I want to invite you to join a free in-depth training that I'm hosting. It's a webinar where I'm going to walk you through the exact process: how to pick a niche, how to find and get approved to sell for real brands, how to build a store that converts visitors into customers, and how to drive quality traffic without burning your budget. It's completely free. The link to register will be in this video's description. I host it regularly, so just click that and pick a time that works for you. And if you're not ready for that, it's totally cool with me. Subscribe to this channel because I'm going to be putting out consistent content just like this. No fluff, no lifestyle marketing, just real information that actually works. I'll see you in the next one.